Hi, welcome to Design It with Tammie Gibbs. I'm Tammie, and today we are going to be doing something really fun. We're going to be working with coloring pages and coloring books, and I'm going to be showing you how you can use Artistly to use some of your own art and turn it into really cute little coloring books or coloring activities or whatever. So let's jump right in. I'm going to go into the Fast AI Image Designer, and I am going to be finding what I want to do by going in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select some images and move them to a folder. So we're going to go ahead and do the bulk move here. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to move them to a folder first because I'm going to be using the particular images and I want to be able to access them quickly. So give me a second. I need to clean these out. Okay, so I think I want to do these. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use one of these. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to regenerate him. But I'm going to make him, I'm going to do 4, and I'm going to make him around a letter size. That 3/4 is close to a letter size. So what I'm going to do. Okay, so cute. Okay, so I'm just going to use these. Now, if I were doing this for a real coloring book, what I would do is I would make, be more specific. So I would do like a clip art pack that's going to have different poses and things like that. For our purposes, I'm just going to let it kind of make me some images. I'm not making any edits to it at this point, just for demonstration purposes. Okay, and I'm going to do like 12. So I'm going to do one more batch of the little, those are all cute. Do one more batch of 4. Okay. And then when those are done, we're going to go to step 2. Okay. There's still a good bit of variety in these owls, so that's still cute. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to create a folder, and it's going to be Christmas owls. And I'm going to put coloring base. Okay, so we're going to add this folder. And then what I'm going to do is move all 12 of those. I hope this is going to work because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But if I were doing, then I would go ahead and, move them so they're safely moved somewhere. And then we're going to do owls. Let's see. Christmas owls. We're going to move them. Okay. Now our next step, is to go over here to AI Bulk Actions. We're going to choose from library, and we're going to choose, we don't have to do the folder because we have them right here. So we're just going to choose all of these. Owls. We're going to choose all 12. Okay. So we have all of those. All right, and then next we're going to add a step. We are going to do coloring page. We're going to match our aspect ratio to the shape that we already chose. We're going to build the action and just put coloring owls. I really don't think this serves a whole lot of use, but we have to put something in there. So now it's running the action. Okay, and look, how cool is that? I'm not sure why that one is cream colored, but that's easy to do too. How adorable and how cute. And how quick. This one's another color too, but we can make this, like, remove the background on it, and then we could turn those into where they are all against the white background. So then, as soon as we get our last couple, then we're going to take these over, and I'm going to show you how easy it is in Canva now to, we're going to bulk download them. And we're just basically doing the bulk download. Okay. Those are so cute. Okay. Download selected. And download it as a zip. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to go into Canva. And I am going to create custom size, and I'm going to do the document size, because that's what we're going to do these on. Now, if we wanted to do and change it to like a, you know, a square coloring book or whatever, we could do that too. But so we would leave, say, that for our we're going to start a project, create a folder, and create a folder here, and we're going to call it Owl Christmas Coloring Book. Okay. Now, if I were actually doing a coloring book, you know, and putting more, putting more attention to it, I would, let's go here. You know, I would put more attention to exactly what I was doing, but I'm just going to show you basically how you can set this up. Okay, so I'm going to be extracting all of these images. Okay. So those are extracted. So now we're under the folders. We're going to go inside this Owl Christmas Coloring Book folder, and I'm going to upload that entire folder. So we're going to upload the folder so it keeps it in there. So, and then now all of those are going to be inside that project and inside a folder. So they're going to be easy to access for us. We don't have to go and look through all of our uploads and everything. We've got them in a place that's easier to find. Okay, now we're going to see them all, and we can curate which one we want to be. We've got a cover here. We're going to start with the page 2. And let's see, let's work with these first so I can show you what you can do. Okay, so this is on a cream background, and we don't really want the cream background. So we can do this two ways. This particular one's going to let us, well, I thought it might, but it didn't. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to remove the background. Very simply. Okay, so that's real simple to deal with. Okay, but we're going to add 12 pages. So we're just going to add them. We're going to do 13 because we're going to do well, we'll do 12. Okay, we'll do 12 because we're going to make one of these our cover. So we're going to do a title. Let's do this one. Let's pick out which one we want to be our main one. Let's just do this one. We're going to drag him there. And then on this one, we're probably going to do it kind of like this, so that we're going to go over to the text, and we're going to, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can look for a free, if you're going to sell it, you want to make sure that these things are the free ones. So let's see if we can see one that is something cute that we can add. That's a free one. Let's see. Okay, let's just say we're going to do this, and we're going to ungroup it, and we're going to put it down here. An owl. Let's do, what kind we title it? And I'm just on the fly. Let's see. Let's do let's see, Mr. Owl and Friends, and we're going to change that to Celebrate Christmas. Okay. So, and this is kind of like, once you set this up, you set up kind of how you want to do it. You can go back in and drag and drop if you want to make several that are very similar covers. Just to get it down, then you can set it up as a brand template, and then you can go back in and you can actually and let's make this a more vibrant green. Okay, Mr. Owl and Friends, Celebrate Christmas. Okay, and then you can line these all up, just aligning the elements to the center. Okay, and then you want to align them also vertically. So, whoops, sorry about that. To group them, and then we can go over and we can to the middle. There we go. Skipped a step. Don't skip a step. Okay, so now we have these. If you want to make it smaller, now what I would probably do, it's white, so you may want to remove the background. It's not going to print white, so you don't necessarily have to remove the background, but you could always do a little, you know, text box down here at the bottom. And you could say Avery. Ow. So, I mean, you can do it however you want to set that up. But if you do that, then you can basically, what you can do is you can duplicate the page. And then where it says Avery Owl here, when you go back over to your project and to your images, you can just drag your image in, and then you can, there's Avery Owl, Oscar Owl, and then we can duplicate again. We can duplicate a few. That would have been easier to do, but then it's basically set up. So you're building, this first one is going to build your template, and then you can make this as much writing. This could be a story, whatever you wanted to do. We can name this one. I'm going to move him over here. That's Oscar. This is Avery. And this one's going to be Edwin Owl. And then you just keep creating. Peabody. Peabody Owl. But like I said, once you get it set up, you set up one page, and then you are set up to create your coloring book. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's go back over into Artistly, and let's try something different. We did owls. Let's go through and let's do find some other images. I don't want to do the black cats. I'd rather do the penguins or something. So let me find one of my penguins, maybe. But it's so cute. It really is. Now we could add and do this one. Let's regenerate her. And then we'll have some girls that we can interchange in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to change up and do, let's do 4. Oh, those are so cute. Okay, so let's do 4 more. I want to show you the different variations that you can do. Now, all of these were created using the Animals playbook and also the Christmas and Winter art and clip art playbook. So these were originally created using those. I'm not going to go in and do that prompting since we're talking about the coloring books, but just so you know, those are the two great playbooks that I was able to get these really awesome images. So we're going to bulk move these and put them in that same folder. But this will give us 8 more, and some of these are a little bit more feminine looking, and they're definitely dressed a little bit more holiday-ish. So you can kind of choose from that. And then we're going to bulk move them to the Christmas owls. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go back over here to the bulk actions, create new action from library. I'm going to choose all of these. But can you imagine just taking an existing clip art pack that you have and turning it into coloring things? This would also be so cool for images that you create for your invitations to then go back and very easily convert those actual characters from your invitations to make birthday-oriented coloring sheets that you could sell with your invitations and your other party items, party printables. So very, very cool. And this is just kind of an easy way to do it. So far, I'm very impressed with how this is doing because it's very quick, and so far I've liked the type of the way that it has treated each one of the images. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm saying that it's definitely worth trying out, and it would be a really easy way to build your build a totally different product. You know, once you set that up in Canva or whatever, if you want to use Affinity or whatever, Canva's just easy for me to, I mean, I've used Photoshop, I've used CorelDRAW, I've used all of the things, the much more complicated things. And for basic stuff like this, especially if you don't have a lot of design background and you just want to do it quickly, look how cute. Cute, cute, cute. So cute. And so quick. So very quick. I love the treatment, though, of how it's converting those images that were very color oriented. So, and as you can tell, I am not I'm not curating these for like what their feet look like and stuff like that. I'm just trying to give you the basics. Number one, you would have already done that when you select and you're using an actual clip art pack or a grouping of images that you've already curated. You've already gone through that step. With me, I'm doing it on the fly so you can see that process. So I'm not actually using one that I'm using one I just created very quickly. So there may be elements of these that I would curate out, but for now I'm just trying to get it out in a quick video. Okay, so I'm going to open now and I'm going to extract them. Then we're going to go back over to Canva, to our Mr. Owl and Friends. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to upload those as well. So we're going to go to upload folder again and upload those new ones. And it's going to give us another 8 images to use. But see, we already have this set up. So how easy is that? Peabody Owl, and then this is Oscar. Was way back here. So this is the one we start with. So that's the other ones. Probably should name these. But anyway, so we're going to take, and since we used this and it already removed the background, we don't have to do the background removal because it's doing it automatically. If it, it's removing that background already for you inside of Canva. So we've got that one. We just, let's see, we would name this Esmeralda. No, let's see, Evie Owl. Evie Owl. And then duplicate the page. And then we'll put Lottie Owl. See how cute? So cute. Okay. So you could do coloring stickers, like for instance, and I'm just going to do this right here. So let's just say we want to make a page of, now these are not going to be, this is going to be like a cutout sheet. So you would have to do something else. You would have to do, convert them into a sticker. A sticker thing. Let me show you inside of Artistly how we may be able to do that. So we could go over, we can take that's the coloring sheet. We don't want to do that. Let's just say maybe you want to do, these as like stickers. Okay, we can regenerate it. And then sometimes this will work, sometimes it won't. I don't know. But so, if you were also wanting to use, this wouldn't necessarily be a coloring one, but it would potentially give you the outline. There we go. So we've converted. Now we are making a sticker pack. And all we really did was change and add sticker style with outline. That's going to work sometimes. Sometimes it's not a guarantee. I promise you. Like out of all the images, the next ones may not have the sticker line. That's just the it's the way that the generators trick. Now this one all did, and those are super cute stickers. So then you could take those, and then you could, those are so cute. So cute. Wow. Okay, so you could take those and let's just try it again. I'm on a roll. But what you could do the coloring book, you could also, so this would be something also that you could do, like if you're having a little Christmas party and you wanted this to be the theme. Here's your stickers. They are adorable. They're so cute. And again, you would have to curate them or whatever and make sure they don't have too many toes and stuff like that. But anyway, so cute. And then here, like I said, you could do however you wanted. Now, let's see if it would, what it's going to do. Let me show you how it treated like if you want a little bit more detail. So you want a background and everything. So let's just, let's create a few of this one. We're going to say 4. And we're going to make them let's see, you know, because those were very simple. Let's see how it's going to treat these. Okay, so these are really cute. So this is Penguin and Friends, a Merry Christmas little book. But let's see how it's going to treat all of this and if it's going to make a cute coloring book. So we're going to go back to bulk actions. And since there's only 4 of them, I'm just going to select those 4. Okay. Well, we can go back here and we can actually select this one. Okay, so we've got 5. We go down here to our coloring page. Come and select the aspect ratio that matches for like a letter size piece of paper, and then we build our action. And you can write anything there. It really, you can't select them from what you've chosen that's just not connected somehow. I'm not sure why it works that way, but it does. It's running it. And then we're going to see if that's how that treats. So this would be a really great idea for all those images that have pretty backgrounds on them, but you just can't remove those backgrounds well enough to use them for clip art. Then they would also be great for little coloring books or coloring sheets or whatever. Oh, they're adorable. How cute. Super cute. Those are precious. So you see that even, you know, when you have those really neat backgrounds, it's a great way to turn. Now I would curate these to, or maybe wouldn't fit. They are a more delicate version, so I would probably put them as coloring sheets by themselves rather than do the others. Guys, this is such a cool thing. So anyway, so the playbooks that I used to create the original images was the Animals playbook and also the Christmas and Winter Art and Clip Art playbook. For these cute images, if you like those sorts of things, and it has lots of ideas on how to do those. The owls and the penguins, all of those were created using those prompts inside Artistly. And then of course I used Canva, and then I also used Pixel Cut when I was, well, did I use Pixel Cut? I don't think I used Pixel Cut in this video. Sorry, I'm doing back-to-back videos and I'm getting confused. Anyway, I think I just used Canva to remove the background, so we didn't use Pixel Cut with this one. But anyway, I think this is a great idea. I know that coming up we've got Thanksgiving and we've got Christmas. That means that you're going to have a lot of grandmas that are out there wanting to do those coloring the coloring placemat things. That's a way that you could use it. You could also just do a Grammy's Thanksgiving coloring book, that you could market instead of the placemats. Maybe they just buy one that says, that allows them to personalize it so that they could go in and they could put, like, I have 3 grandsons. They're twins that are 6 and he is 3. And so the baby's 3. So 3 little boys. And so they call me Gammy. So whatever it is, like Gammy's Thanksgiving, whatever, coloring book, they could go in and actually name it and do some little bit of editing in there, but you could do, you could do different things for Thanksgiving. You could have puzzles, because inside Artistly you can do these little kids puzzles and stuff. So you could do it like a little book that they could print out. If I were going to do that, I would make it so that they can print and fold an 8.5 by 11, because most of, they could staple that easy enough, folded like that, it would be easier for them to do. I know that sometimes people are even taking an 8.5 by 11 and they're, doing the folds where it just folds up and does a little coloring thing. That's an option, a lot of those kind of activities like that. So be creative, because you can use these images. Excuse me. You can use these images. You don't have to use them in a sheet. You can... I am so sorry. You can use these any way you want to. You can put them on one of those placemats. You just would remove the background and use that coloring image like a piece of clip art. So, you can build whatever you want to with it. But anyway, this one has been super fun. I hope that you will go out and you will make you some really cool coloring books and coloring features using some of the cool clip art packs that maybe, go back and look in your store. And if you have clip art packs that say aren't really performing, maybe they haven't gotten a lot of use, why not go in and pull those in and make coloring sheets out of them, or a coloring book, or use them in something else, but convert them into coloring. Doesn't mean you have to take that off the list. In fact, if you put the coloring thing together with the clip art, it may actually cause people to want to use that clip art also. So buy it together, or maybe you make it into a bundle and you have the clip art pack, and then you have the coloring sheets, and then you have the sticker pack printable that they can do, because then you can also, when you're playing with it and you pull those images back in, maybe you can go back in and turn them into, turn those prompts that you created those with into matching stickers and stuff. So lots of creative ideas there. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll like it. I hope you will subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, so you get updates on when I put out new videos. And then I hope that you will take the time to maybe leave me a comment. What do you think about this? I think this is actually a great feature that Artistly 6 has. And I honestly had overlooked it. I don't go in and use the bulk actions that much, because I have another, I kind of have my workflow already set up. So I was not really aware that a lot of you already may be using this, and kudos to you for being progressive and on top of it. But for all of us who are just now kind of discovering that, and it allowed a lot of versatility, and I can see where I would use that a lot. So I have a lot of clip art packs that I think would be perfect for this, so it'll make making those coloring books so much easier. So anyway, leave me a comment. Check out the description for the link to my website, the playbooks, to join my Facebook group if you're not already a member. I have a newsletter, so from the website you can follow the link and sign out, fill out the form out for the newsletter. Also, let's see, as of 8/7/26, I've got a big sale going on with my playbooks, so you might want to check those out. If you have any in your cart, you might want to peek in and see if the prices come down. It's the biggest sale that I've had, with the deepest discounts that I've had since I've been publishing the playbooks. But anyway, so you might want to check that out, and then be sure and leave me a comment. Love to hear what you think of the video and what I'm sure you're brainstorming ideas on how you can use this feature. But anyway, so have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy creating.